the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me this evening on this fine Monday evening is my good man, Mr. Andy Gray. He's nicked a hoodie off someday. We'll get to that in a minute. However, it's good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. Hope your weekend's been good. And it's my good man, Big Paddy McCourt's back on to join us again, all the way from sunny Glasgow. Good to see you smiling, boys. I'll come to you first. Paddy boy, how are we? I hope you're well, and I hope you've had a good weekend, mate.
It says Carlsberg does weekends. I think that it doesn't get much better than that. Aye, 97-minute winner and a bit of entertainment after that. The laughs we've seen after that. I'll not comment much on that, but absolutely brilliant weekend.
Is that your sum up of the weekend, mate?
I, I don't know how else to put it. Like unless we delve into a team across the water, then there's no other way of putting it. It was
No,
absolutely fun.
we're not doing that because we're just going to
Exactly.
change the narrative ever so slightly. Hey, Jimmy boy, I can hear your rosary beads rattling away there like a wee budgie. What's happening? It's good to see your wee smiling face, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm still in this house, so I don't know where I'm going to aim. Still
Brilliant.
here.
I see you just keep knocking people's clothes button, putting them on anyway.
I just found it, mate. So I just thought I'd have it on for the night, just to show off still some sort of life. So I wear different clothes in that. Do you know what I mean? So no. Echo what Alan says. If Carlsberg did weekends for a Celtic fan, it would be up there with one of the highlights. You would say your season so far. Obviously, great performance, which again, obviously, what happened across the road yesterday's kind of overshadowed what Aberdeen done and what we done. But more important, what we done was it's now -7, last minute goal. But you wouldn't think that be everything it's just going on, mate. So try to put the focus back on us. Fantastic performance in terms of getting the victory. Might have not been vintage Celtic. You've got to give credit to Motherwell for that.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was one of the games, mate. We just couldn't finish, and these games happen when you huff and puff, and eventually you. Like they say in the nursery rhyme or the school rhyme, you eventually blow the house down, mate, and that's what happened. We won the game, and I think if it ended 2-1 anyway, mate, take away the drama at the end, you wouldn't have begrudged Celtic the victory because they were the better team. Motherwell did put up a very good fight, mate, but overall, Celtic were the better team. Just again, as we're probably going to mention, mate, we just lacked a wee bit of quality in the final third. But overall, mate, good weekend, mate. I hope you're the same.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'll come to that in a minute. But obviously, as I normally do for everyone that's on and joining us this evening, and James, first up. Evening, folks. How are we? I hope you're well, and James. Hope you had a nice weekend, pal, whatever you decided to do. I know we had a belter. Obviously, we will come to that and as we go on this evening. And Plunge is joining us also. He says it's getting cold again. It's -7. Evening, boys. Good evening, Plunge. Hope you're well, mate. This will not be doing you any good, mate, because don't forget, I've met you a couple of times, mate. You need a bonnet for this weather. It's cold, it's nippy, and it doesn't do well for your heat, mate. So you'll definitely need a bonnet. Hope to see you, my man, on Saturday or Wednesday if I see you on Wednesday. And Jem reckons it's fingers crossed time and it will only get colder. Plunge. Yep, I'm with you there. We might come to that if I decide it. If not, then I might jump off and let they two. They're dying to, I know the two of them are dying to talk about it, but it just isn't happening. It just isn't happening. No while I'm here. I'm really sorry. Obviously, a couple of comments tonight. I've been wondering why we were so late on. And I'm really sorry. I've unfortunately the last 2 days in here, I've been having some Wi-Fi problems, and hopefully get that sorted very, very soon, and therefore we can actually get started in time. Leo Porter joining us also. He said, "All right, lads, what a fantastic weekend it was, Leo. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you've had a nice weekend yourself." Francis Lester also joining us. Says, "Hail, hail, boys. Gutted plug has gone." Aye, that is what it is, mate. As I say, we're not talking about him tonight, mate, but he'll help you. Hope you had a nice weekend. Eminem has joining us as well. He said, "Evening all, still buzzing from the last 10 minutes of that game. Yes, if anybody joined into the game, that's probably the most favourable part that folk will be picking out. But we'll get into that as we go. That's enough of the comments just now. Please keep them coming though. If any of you have got any questions or anything, feel free to ask away. And if I think it's a good question or not, I'll put it up for you. But if not, then tough titty. I'm only kidding. I'm only having a laugh. I'm only joking. Alan, obviously, as the heading says here, mate, Celtic show steel against the Steelmen. The only reason I've kind of put that up tonight is the fact that it's a never say die attitude that we've got as a club, and that attitude has been with us for many years. This isn't something new. It's not something that we've just started to do. I know Big Ange highlighted it all with this. We never stop, carry on, but probably it's carried on. It's the same guys that operated under Ange, and they do have a massive winning mentality throughout that squad. And yeah, I thought overall I was really happy with our football first and foremost. What was your overall thoughts on the game as the game started to unfold in the game?
No, I definitely agree that the late goals have probably been prevalent since Mark O'Neill's era. We've always seemed to be a team that's kind of popped up with late goals, important goals as well. The game was one that Motherwell sat back, but we spoke about it as well. They had a
Yep.
kind of back five and a bank of four ahead of that, so they try to make it difficult for us to play any football whatsoever. When we're watching it, it seems like one of the games that we weren't going to have any joy, but one of the kind of difficult games that nothing was going for us.
Yeah,
With a few good movements of play, but that last pass, that kind of cutting edge, that last finish was kind of lacking. Then Palma pops up. Don't know if it was an intended cross or a shot, but who cares? We're in the back of
hmm
the net. Uh, Motherwell score, but we still had that kind of. I think Matt O'Reilly's interview after it when he said that he asked the referee how many minutes are left. I think that just shows how much fight is in this team. That on the 95th minute, there's a player asking the referee how many minutes left so that they could get another chance. And gladly enough, we got that other chance and we put it away. And that
yeah,
just shows the kind of fighting mentality that this whole squad's got. And I think it's built into kind of every Celtic team. As I
yep,
say, it's been prevalent since the Martin O'Neill era. But it seems every team since then has always had this kind of tendency to score late goals, late important goals.
yeah,
And that is a massive goal because that could have led to confidence at the other side of the city going into the 3 o'clock kickoff.
yep,
If it's down to 2 points and now it's 7 points. So
yeah,
that confidence has just been shot down with a 97th minute goal. And it's absolutely massive. And that it kind of is similar to like the Ralston goal away to Ross County. That was 97 minutes as well. But it's
yeah. It
that
was
kind of
massive,
goal,
wasn't it?
massive in seasons. That's the kind of goals that wins league titles. And it's absolutely huge that we've got that kind of fighting mentality that wins games like that. So personally, I can see that is a massive turning point in the season.
Yeah,
It's kind of 4 point swing, and it's huge and brilliant that we managed to get that winner. Brilliant composure by Matt O'Reilly. Great cross by Greg Taylor. I know my man Ryan's always
I'll be coming to
kind
that.
of
Don't you
not
worry.
brilliant, but great composure for the cross and great composure for the finish. So I've aye, I've not seen myself kind of jump about like that for a long time, but
He's
it was
raging,
a
isn't he?
great weekend. I know, but it was a great cross. And
Yeah.
that late in the game, you have that kind of composure to put in a cross like that. Fair play to the wee man. And fair play to our biggest star at the minute, Matt O'Reilly. Seems to be doing everything spot on, and that finish was very composed and top notch, to be honest.
Yeah, very well said, Alan. I want to echo what you said there in terms of the team's mentality, because it's something that we've been, well, certainly I've been used to seeing for the last 20 years, maybe more, with Celtic. So that, I mean, people were going on at the weekend as if this was something new. Other teams' fans, the way they were speaking on social media and stuff. And I think the important thing there is, Ryan, we know this isn't something new, mate. We know that this is something that's been ongoing. Um, you know, the game, the way the game was going, it was always going to take, I think, because of the way Motherwell had set up with that kind of, put a lot of effort into to stop Celtic coming through the middle and playing through them. Getting like one and two guys to trigger onto Hatate, trigger onto McGregor, try to press that, condense that sort of horseshoe as we play in. Then to cut out some of the triangles, using some energy to get in and about the the 6 area, the 7.5, the 8, try to close us down and stop our main source. It was always going to take something, and Celtic were always going to have to maybe get the ball wide and do it. Not just get the ball wide, but do it in a tempo that you were going to drag certain individuals out of position and take people across the pitch, take people into a comfort zone that they're not comfortable being in. First and foremost, i.e., dragging maybe a centre half out or dragging a right-sided central midfielder in and across the field to cover what would you be your like right back, coming across the field and putting people onto your difficult side and onto their opposite side as well. So I think bringing PALMA on in the game, it certainly gave us that option because it certainly appeared as James Forrest came on, it certainly appeared that James was maybe told to kind of cut inside, look for the intricate passing. He was trying to play some 1-2s, sharps, like with Matt O'Reilly, Alistair Johnson, and it was coming off, but they were getting to a point where Motherwell were just flooding the box by that point. So it was always going to take a moment of magic, and Louis Palmer delivered it, mate.
Aye.
And that's why, and by the way, that's why you sign. People may be questioning why you sign these guys. That's why. Moments like that.
No, listen, it might be for me, I thought he should have been on earlier than he did. But again, that's why the manager earns his stripes. That's why he gets the big dollar. But again, we're talking about James Forrest, and again, I didn't think he'd done much in the game. I know somebody highlighted that he made a wee run for Matt O'Reilly to score a goal. But is that what we're expecting with James Forrest, to do a run and get a goal? For me, guys like Palmer and Yang, Tillu when he's back, again, people might think I'm being negative. I'm just trying to make sure that we're going better going forward, and they type of games don't happen very often. And for me, guys like Tillu, when they get a chance, Yang, Palmer, we know what James Forrest can do and what he can't do now. And one thing he can't do now is go by a man. He's always wanting to go back, pass it back. That's finished. That's 10 years ago, James. We're a dynamic running forward machine. We need to go forward. If you can't do it now, then somebody's got to take your place in, because we can't be having, I don't want to say passengers, but we can't be having guys that are no doing what we want to do going forward. You have a few minutes to go and he's trying to pass it back, get the ball forward. But on Palmer, mate, I was happy he got to go for him himself, because again, he's played one game and 10 minutes a game, and fans are saying he's no good enough. And I'm thinking, like, give the guy a bit of a break here. He's just signed for a new country. Let him bed in. I'm not saying give him 20 games, but give him at least 4 or 5 games to get into the team. You can't judge him on one performance with Feyenoord. It's crazy. It's absolutely ludicrous to say that a guy's not good enough. We've seen in the past with Larson and other guys, 2 or 3 or 4 bad games and then eventually superstars. So you've got to give guys time. The game itself, it was stuffy to a certain degree, but I thought we did play well in terms of some of our football. I Kevin, you're spot on. It was a sitter for James Forrest. Nobody tell me it's not a sitter. Don't care about his height, it's a sitter. He's got to score for them, in my opinion. I would score that in my sleep and I'm tiny, so if I can do it, I'm sure James Forrest will be able to do it. And I'm not kidding about that. He's got to score that. It's an absolute sitter. And the other chances it can obviously no win your games. So might be a bit harsh on that, but for me, he's got to score it. But on the game as a whole, JP, I'm happy with the way we played. It was just one of the ones where you've got a team that's on a bit of form, they've got a bit of confidence, they're trying to stop you playing, and they did stop his play to a certain degree because it took us to basically 10 seconds to go, roughly, to get a goal. So Motherwell done well in certain parts of the game they utilised their strength against us, but what they've no got and what we have got is the quality. It might have not shown the full 90 minutes, but it did show near the end, and that's why we went 1-2-1. And like you and Alan have said there, mate, it's not a fluke. It's built. Celtic are a built winning machine. They no give up. They know we don't stop. People might think this is all just big words and technical words to make managers look good or Celtic to sound good, but that is the mentality of the players. As soon as we concede a goal or something going against us, we'll get the ball right, get the ball, get it going. I know I criticise Joe Hart for taking his time on it, but they're just brainwashed to get the ball quick, get everything done as soon as you can, and that epitomises a goal at the end on Saturday. So, overall, mate, the game, stuffy to a certain degree, but in my opinion, mate, see me when you score a goal like that, the performance, I don't care about performance, mate, I just care about the victory. Football's all about winning. You look at the team across the water, right? They've just lost at home, and then some fans, well, they're wanting this style of playing. First and foremost, actually, for the first time in a long time, I actually agreed with Kenny Miller on Super Scoreboard. You need to win and then get a style of play. You need to win first and then you go forward. But we've got everything now. We're starting to get a style of play under. It's starting to click. But by God, if we're struggling and we're starting to click, and for me, that's a fear factor for the rest of Scottish football because Vickers still no fit, Nerofsky's still no fit, Joe Hart suspended, Kyogo's the last 2 or 3 games, he's not been Kyogo of old, but his movement's still there, he's still integrating the play, he's still doing things apart from scoring goals. So the team are starting to get there, JP, and if we're playing like this all season, mate, it might not be vintage Celtic, but I couldn't care, mate, if that was like every game and we won 3-1, 2-1, 3-0. I honestly, people think I'm maybe full of guff here, right? But see, if we win football games, mate, the performance, it matters. But as long as you get the 3 points, mate, because I guarantee them across the water, if they won 3-1 on Sunday, Saturday, and played horrible, they wouldn't be complaining about the performance. We've won the game. Yeah. So overall, I'm agreeing with you, mate, that it probably takes me back to the St Johnstone game, JP, under Ange, when Jack and Marcus scored the last kick of the ball, and we kind of went on and kicked start again. We went on again, and that's the sort of goals that I think sometimes winning 2-1 like that, then winning 5-0. Sometimes it's a boom. Mind last year, was it last year? Down 19 were bad. Was it last year or the year before?
No, it was the year before.
Aye. Boom, 2-1, and then I think
the game after that was when we beat them.
That's what I mean. So that momentum carries on sometimes, and again we've got a quick game in obviously Tuesday, which we'll touch on obviously tomorrow and Wednesday when we're on during the week. But fantastic to get the victory, mate, and it kind of I'm kind of wanting us to talk about it a lot, which we will, because it has overshadowed what's happened because of other results in the league and what's happened. So I think you've got to pinpoint that we're the champions. That's why we're the champions. And you can say one thing as well. All these fans talking about Brendan Rodgers, why is he back? Just look at him after we scored the goal. He's a fan. He's running up and down the line, all the backroom staff. It's brilliant to see. They're all in it together. And it's only going to bode well for the future, mate, when everybody's just passionate as a manager.
Yes, it absolutely is, mate. I was thinking about you on Saturday, mate, especially when I seen this young man's cross, and I thought to myself, I wonder what Ryan's got to think when he sees such a wonderful execution of a beautiful horny pass like that takes you across the threshold of the wee man's bringing sexy back again.
I think
Definitely.
he's learned though. I think he's learned the last few weeks. Rodgers, he's not reverted back to the Ange style of play, but he's letting Johnson and Taylor go in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
And as much as
the wee man plays his best football.
No, listen, 100%. As much as I generally do think, again, I'll say it again going forward, we do need a better left back, in my opinion, to go and challenge for you. But on that game and what he's done for Celtic, he has been good, mate, the last 18 months or so. He has been, and he is better inside. But when he's a defender, in terms of playing left back, for me, it's a total different kettle of fish. For me, I'm sorry, he's probably better off on the bench because you can't defend. But when he's inside like that, he's not having to defend as much because Maeda's obviously up there and he's in there. So I think, I don't know what you feel, JP, but I do feel that Rodgers is slightly adapting. He's not just possession based, but he's letting Taylor just do what he's got to do. Instead of having to tell him stay left back and defend, he's actually. I think he's just adapting, mate, and maybe learning that, right, okay, maybe I need to let this guy come in, maybe I need to let him just go and dictate what he's been done the last year or so. So I think overall, I think you've got to give the manager plaudits for that as well. I think he's realising that maybe Taylor's strength isn't defending, it's actually gone forward, and I think that's only going to help us hopefully in the future.
Well, that's it, and the way I see it is, mate, you've got to play to your strengths. And the only way to do that is to allow people to do the jobs that they're going to be good at and they're going to be able to utilise it properly. For me, Greg Taylor's one of the best infield. He plays like a playmaker some of the times. That delivery for that goal at the weekend was unbelievable. But what I'm more concerned about is obviously meeting one of your neighbours, Ryan, and the noise that was coming for your house after the second goal went in, mate. I don't know if you want to maybe talk us through what the hell was going on, but somebody heard a bang, and the next minute they seen you running up and down the road, and what's going on, mate? What's happening?
Mate, it's just one of the things, isn't it, mate? I know you get the half-10 show, mate, but I think that beats the half-10 show, that feeling, I'll tell you that.
Somebody thought he says you turned into Roadrunner, but they realised you were shouting mate, mate, instead of like you were on the phone to your mate.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got one knee, you didn't move for
one of your neighbours thought my Gans Postecoglou had moved in beside him. Ain't that many mates kicked him.
Aye.
But no, as I said, Louis Palma, I think yourself, Alan, on the voice chat, mate, you were questioning whether he meant that or no. I've watched that back 4 or 5 times, mate. He gives a goal in the eyes and he meant that. Don't you worry your wee hair about that, mate. Don't you worry about that. Of course he meant that. He gives a goal in the eyes and then he does that. He knew exactly what he was doing as soon as McGregor gives him that pass. See if you remember just before, he tried it and he made a boob. He hit the ball by, but he kicked the grunt also and the ball went by. So he'd already had that in his head, thinking to himself, I got another opportunity to do this. I'm trying this again. And he just, the way he done it, I think because he had it first time and he puts the curve, the actual curve on it. Then Alan, I think if you go and watch it back again, mate, I think we can put to bed whether he meant that or not, big man.
I couldn't care less if he's meant to turn rule and hit somebody in the beer garden in the Bristol bar, right? The boss would hit. But, in all honesty, we'll agree to disagree. I think that's a cross all day long, and there's a number of people I've been talking to and agree with me. So it's just one of the ones. I think Ryan agreed to me at the time as well. It was a cross.
You used to try to gang up me again like the other night.
No,
I've came prepared.
The football morning board says I'm away to make a tea. I'll see you later.
Whether he meant to score or whether he meant to cross, it doesn't matter. The ball ended up the back of the net, and that's the important.
Absolutely, and that is the most important part. Yeah.
The guy looks as if he's got talent, right? And maybe in the final, he looks as if he's kind of lacking a bit of confidence. And oh my God, hopefully after that goal and after that late finish, that will boost his confidence and bring him on leaps and bounds. Because if you can't bring your confidence on after a late goal like that, then nothing ever will. So hopefully that's the kind of goal that kick-starts his Celtic
Yeah,
career.
yeah, definitely. And I think moments happen for a reason, Alan. People, question the recruitment, etc. Why are we buying these players? He's not getting a game. He's on the bench. That's why he was bought. In my opinion, that's the reason he was bought, because he can do that. There's other players in the team that can't produce moments like that. Palma falls into that category, mate. That he's got that in his locker. Similar to Jota, who it just takes a moment of magic, mate. These guys are gifted, and that's why you go and pay £3.5, £4 million for these guys, £6 million for Jota. That's why you pay that money, because you know, and you've done your due diligence, and you know that these guys are that gifted, and they've got that in the locker. I'm not worried about him being on the bench, because people think, oh, he's on the bench, he's not good enough to play. I tell you what, when he comes off the bench, by the way, away from home, knowing he's under pressure, because the side he's shooting at's our fans, he's under pressure straight away to shine.
Mm-hmm.
By God, he was like a Blackpool Pleasure Beach, man. He lit the whole stadium up when he done that. And in my opinion, we were asked a question about Francis PC Green. Does Palma start on Wednesday? I think he does. Yeah, I do. Similar to him starting in the Feyenoord game, I said to my dad, I think he's going to be one of the big game players. I.e., when it comes a big fixture, I think he's going to be one of the players that steps in, and he will step in and, hopefully we'll be singing that song about him. Palma, not just Kyogo doing his thing, it'll be Palma doing his thing as well, Alan.
I think the confidence matter that he should start during the week, because Yang started at the weekend, and I'm not what well. I'm not what down players, but did they have that kind of that the end product, right? And I'm not saying he played bad, right? He done certain things about the game, right? But Palmer's ended up, whether he's meant or not, he's ended up with that end product. And hopefully, as I said previously, hopefully that confidence can bring him on leaps and bounds. Yeah. Hopefully, only time will tell. Hopefully, he turns into the kind of player that Jota was, that can turn games in a matter of seconds. But you need to give him a kind of run in the team as well. You need to let him see what he's all about. Because he looks as if he's got the ability. He does look as if he can turn players that can change a game. Yep. But at the minute, we've only seen that. He looked a bit nervous in the final game, if I'm being honest. But I'd still say that I thought it was a bit bad, the kind of criticism that he got in the final game. I know he was a bit quiet in the first 20-25 minutes. But Palma, he got a bit of criticism online.
Really?
And I didn't agree with it,
to be honest.
Quite a lot.
Honestly, I must have.
And I thought it was unjust. I thought
absolutely,
maybe the
first 100% is unjust.
But I thought before he took off 65 minutes. I thought he started building his style into the game. But I don't know, JP, honestly, he get a power of abuse online.
Right, okay, so I hold my hands up, I never seen that. Right.
I was one of the ones saying I thought that he done relatively well. He looked nervous, quiet the first half hour. Yeah. But I thought he was all right. And I
think he's very good in tight areas, Alan. See with the ball. I think he's very good in tight areas, Alan, with the ball. I think he's got that sort of close control where he knows where the man is, but he's got that sort of the proximity to understand his surroundings, and he's got that quick thought process in his head where he knows where his two passes are going to be before he does them. So I think that's what's good about him, mate, and I can see that quite early on.
Everything I've seen for him, he looks as if he's got bags full of potential, and that's how Ryan's just kind of agreed with there as well. See the abuse he got for that time at Feyenoord. I thought that was unjust. He wasn't the best player in the park, but he did. It was as if we should have bought him, and why have we paid this kind of money for him. But I thought you seen glimpses that.
Sorry, Alan, you try to catch up. There you go.
Aye. Aye. But you've seen glimpses that he's got ability. He's got technical ability, and as you've seen before, you've got that ability. You bring a bit of confidence into that as well. Then the sky's the limit.
Yes.
So I'm kind of full of confidence that Palmer will be a success because I think the more game time he gets, the more confidence he'll gain, and I think that'll bring him on leaps and bounds, as I said.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of wee comments. I put them up earlier. John Menteith on the Facebook. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, John. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you've had a good weekend. Plunge asked us a question. Well, not so much a question, but just says, Brendan needs to play Kyogo up front. Well, I would like to think so because he's certainly not a goalkeeper, Plunge. So I can't see him playing in goals. I don't see him playing at any one of the left back, right back, unless Brendan's got something up his sleeve and he sticks Greg Taylor up top. But I think if Brendan was to stick Greg Taylor up top, Ryan would stick his head in something else. Maybe even.
I can get what Plunge is saying. I know he's probably funny there, but I can get what he's saying because there's sometimes where we have put the ball in the box and he's not there because he's trying to go up. He's been told to go and link the play, and there's nobody in the box sometimes. So I do agree that he's got to be the number 9. He's got to be there all the time. But I know that's the way Rodgers wants him to link the play, and he's good at it. But when he's getting that ball and he's putting it wide, Kyogo, he's quick, but he's no like Maeda quick. So as soon as
Ryan,
the ball's
you don't
wide,
think it's hard for him to be the number 9 though because he's number 8?
No, you know what I'm talking about. Come on, hey, listen.
I seen a heat map today on Twitter. Right, I've seen a heat map today on Twitter.
Aye.
See that game against Motherwell was Maeda and Maeda and Yang had average further positions forward than Kyogo. Kyogo was slightly further back. So you see the average positions of where the guys were. Yang and Maeda were slightly further forward than Kyogo's average position, and that's because Brendan's obviously asked them to come back and kind of build up the play a bit more. But
He sort of did that with Jamie Vardy as well, didn't he? He asked Vardy to do that as well, didn't he?
We need to put the thrust in him. But
he's definitely, Alan. We all know how good he is as a striker, but I know it sounds daft because he has scored goals for this season as well, but I don't want Rodgers to take it away from his game because he's a striker, and I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to link the play, get the ball wide, but sometimes, like guys like Maeda, right? Maeda's sometimes that quick that the ball's already maybe in the box and nobody's there. So I think he's got to judge that in terms of how he's going to do that. Give me PALMA. I agree with you. I think he's definitely got something there. Well, I know he's going to hit the heights of Jota or whoever, we don't know. But he's definitely got the base ability. If you look at the research, if anybody listens to the interview I done with the journalist, then you definitely get insights of it. So
is that the one for Cyprus or for
the one for Cyprus? Aye, Cyprus. Aye, he's in an app. I don't know. I think so. I think I'm an INAF or something like that talk sometimes. But I do agree that Palmer's definitely got something. If you look at his highlight reels, he does that quite a lot. He turns on his side and hits shots. He's got a good delivery. I thought he done okay when he came on and he got the winning goal. So again, he will probably put his hat in the ring to play on Wednesday after that goal. He'll be full of confidence. Still,
anyway,
again,
James Forrest as well was.
If James Forrest starts, I'm walking out on Wednesday. Telling you, I'm walking out if he's starting. James Forrest should not be nowhere near that game on Wednesday.
He's a shout if you're going right, and I can sing. We can see you stinking now.
No, but today I'll phone you and go, can you see me now? No, but on a serious note, James Forrest
put your pink hoodie on. I'll know exactly who you are then.
It's salmon now.
Oh, salmon. Sorry, salmon.
It's a bit of salt and chilli salmon jumping.
A bit of salt and chilli, aye. That what you got done it the last time you had it on?
Probably, mate, not me. I'm a bit of a messy boy, you know what I mean? So, no, I think, in all seriousness, I do think James Forrest should be nowhere near the team Wednesday, mate. It's not a game for him. It just shouldn't be anywhere near it. It should be either Palma, Yang, or obviously Maeda. For me, Yang, I'm going to say Johnson on him yet. He's still got a few more games to obviously play and get used to the team, and I think he wants too much time in the ball. He is very direct. He just wants to take men on, but his final product wasn't great. He was getting a bit sticky in the ball. I think it's because he's maybe getting too much. He thinks he's getting too much time in the ball. And in Scotland, it doesn't really happen. In Scotland, you don't really get a lot of time in Scotland. So,
you're used to that, aren't you?
Yeah, say no more, mate. Say no more about that. I actually sticky ribs I eat at night time. No enough. I don't know what you're thinking about. That's the barbecue ribs I make.
No, I'll leave that to most people's imagination.
I'll leave that to the half-10 show and they get sticky with me there. But no, I do think Yang, he's got something. But again, we're in the long term, it's going to be what we need. Who knows? It's all it's there. He's at 10:30, ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, ding. But I do feel that he's got something, JP. He's quick. He does want to take men on, but he's obviously a bit raw. He's got to get his final product a bit better. I won't walk out, Kevin, but as soon as I figure a speech, I might walk out though and get a pie and then come back in and calm down a wee bit. But
a pint of bleach.
A pint of bleach and a packet of crisps will do me well, aye. I've been to talk with Rose Babies in January, hell. But no, I do agree that he's got something, Palma, definitely. Yang, I'm still a bit, again, we can't fully judge these guys, even guys like Mo, right? I generally don't think O's the man. The answer, right? I don't want to suss him out too early, JP, but he does need a bit more game time to prove if he's good enough to come and challenge Kyogo. Yeah. I know people will say, I know Kyogo he is the main man. Listen, there's no doubt about it, but your second striker should be able to come in and put it up to Kyogo. He should be ready to challenge. Do I think O's the man yet for that? No, but he is a young guy and he will obviously hopefully potentially be that. But right now, as I talk now, I don't think O's good enough to come in and play and score you 20 goals a season. Right now as it stands, I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, mate, but I can only comment on what I feel now. He has got the attributes. He's strong, he's physical, but you can be strong and physical, but if you're not getting the ball in the back of the net and you're not doing that, then it's going to kind of break your judgment. So, but again, he's no starting game, so you can't fully judge him until he gets around 4, 5, 6 games to see. I know he has scored a few goals considering how many minutes he's got, but he's got to get a run of games, I think, JP, to prove that he's going to be up there to challenge Kyogo, which again, it's going to be hard because, let's be fair, the wee man's popped on. You'll probably see it on Wednesday against the Lazio team that he'll put it up against them. So I don't know what you feel, Alan, as well. You're talking about PALMA there. Sorry, JP, Alan mentioned it about obviously some of the no abuse he got, but he did get he's not good enough, he's this and that. And again, JP, I'm not wanting to say that fans are fickle, but they kind of are, because just because he's had one bad performance in his first Jam League game for Celtic in quite a hostile atmosphere, he probably was nervous. I'd be nervous. Doesn't matter if I played 100 games of football or one game, you're going to be nervous. It's your debut in Europe, you've paid a lot of money, that might be on his mind, who knows? But you can't judge anybody on 60 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. You can't judge what. You can see he's got something. So, don't know how you feel on that, mate, but me and Alan were a wee bit taken back with some of the stuff we've seen online. I was personally that saying he was, I'm not going to swear, but no good enough and this and that. And which I think I do feel it's a bit unjust. And I do feel it's just how quick we are, mate, at Celtic, that I think we've just got standards that we expect every player's going to come in. If he's $500,000 or he's 5 million, whatever it is, or 3.5, whatever it is, he's going to be boom right away. And it's not the case. Sometimes it takes these guys 2 games, 3 games, whatever, 20 games sometimes to become the guy you want. So, JP, he did get a wee, I'm not saying he got absolutely hurled, but he did get a bit of why are we getting him? And I'm thinking, he's only played 1 game. So, for me, JP, I think that's crazy. And I guarantee you after that game on Saturday, a few deletes comments, I think, after the game.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. Well, a certain Kyogo was too wee when he came on for the last 10 minutes against Hearts in his first game, and Starfelt wasn't good enough, and it's just madness. For me, it's just crazy.
A confidence thing as well, by the way. Did you see the reaction of all the players were about PALMA when they scored? Like, grabbing his face, like, as if, I tell you, you could do that. Well, honestly, all the players...
They know capably.
So they've been watching him. So it was. I think it might be a confidence kind of thing because of it. All the players, you don't see that usually in a goal, but all the players kind of surrounded him as if
Yeah.
we knew you could do that. So I'm hoping it's a kind of confidence thing, and then he kind of kicks on for here because I think we've all said it. You can see he's got kind of technical ability. It's just that he needs to kind of build for that and kind of goal for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think football is all about confidence, and winning helps you build that within yourself. He's probably come in and it's probably one of those ones. He's not really played a lot of games as to maybe thought he was going to at the beginning, and it's taken him a wee while to find his feet. But I tell you what, man, Saturday never done him any harm at all. What a way to announce yourself to the fans and right in front of them as well. But kicking on, as you said, Alan, we'll do that just exactly, mate. Obviously, a couple of wee things. One, you probably see it's been running the last 20 minutes. It's been running across the wee bar on the screen. But this podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment, and it's a DJ business, an entertainment business. And if anyone wants to, reach out, if you've got a party coming up, please do so on this number that's on your screen. If any of you can't see it, the number is 07845 746 092, and it's a Mr. Alec Beveridge that owns the company, and that's what AB stands for. And as I say, folks, they cater for every function you can possibly think so under the sun. And if any of you have got any parties, Christmas events, any functions at all coming up, please don't hesitate, folks, to give this fine business a shout. Right, now, as I said, moving on, we will get a wee listen in, I think, guys, to the gaffer in terms of what his thoughts were after the game as well, and hearing the way, obviously, he sums the game up.
Well, a fantastic win. I thought that we deserved to win it. I thought that we were the dominant team. We obviously, in a couple of moments of counter-attack, but we had to be careful. But I think the only thing that was missing it was that little bit more quality around the final third of the pitch. But our persistence was superb. We kept going. The players kept calm, which was important. Obviously, we ended up getting the first goal, whatever it was, 84th minute or something, and then it looks like that could be the winning goal. We're disappointed with the equaliser. We've got to be more aggressive around the box to defend that and go with the run. But I've said it many times, this club's history is built on late goals, and it's what comes with the shirt. You've got to keep running, keep fighting to the very, very end, and that mentality served us very well. And it was a great cross by Greg, and Matty's got another goal arriving, timing in the box, and fantastic finish. So all in all, a great win for us, and obviously fantastic for the supporters.
And obviously, lads, Ryan, obviously, Matty gets his nickname there from the gaffer. I think the wee sit-downs in the canteen or the restaurant or whatever Matty O'Reilly was alluding to at the beginning of the transfer window, and the way it's kind of night and day from the way Ange operates. I think obviously, all in all, mate, I think it's boding well for certain individuals, including O'Reilly himself. But also the way Brendan speaks, I think he's quite honest in his approach. I think Ryan he sums up things pretty well, and just about hits the nail right on the head just about every time. You see it with other managers; they try and make excuses, they try and hide, they try and we've seen recently other managers being derogatory towards other teams.
Yep.
But Brendan's quite humble that way. He's quite respectful, and he sums games up pretty well, mate.
I'm kind of glad that you brought that up again, mate, because he's kind of said what we've roughly said. So again, I don't know if it gives us any credibility or anything, but he's basically said what you just says, that we lacked that quality around the final third.
He done that in about a minute and 6 seconds. We took 46 minutes to get there.
But listen, we're no paid to date in minutes, mate. We're paid to date as long as we can.
Well, that's true,
we're paid in rupees, no money, mate. So, but no, he's spot on, JP, and he always handles himself with people are saying that the guy across the water done himself with class. Listen, Brendan Rodgers, doesn't matter if it's hail, snow, wind, a defeat or whatever, he's always talking well. He's never going to out anybody. He just talks the way that he feels these games went. And I think we can read between the lines now that maybe certain players, I don't know if they feared Ange or they felt they couldn't go and see him. I don't know, because I don't know anything about behind the scenes. I'm only reading behind what I feel with some interviews, and he sees maybe Brendan's more approachable. He's more hands-on with the players. He'll sit and have lunch. He'll sit and have a yard with them. Maybe Ange's old school, where maybe Martin O'Neill. Again, I don't know ins and outs of Celtic. I don't know what happened at training ground, but maybe Neil Lennon should have turned up to training and that was it. Martin O'Neill maybe turned up 2 or 3 times a week. When he turned up, the play went tenfold. Maybe that was like Ange. Yeah. Maybe he was there, but then he went away and then came back, and maybe he wasn't involved and maybe stuff. We don't know. But in terms of Matt O'Reilly, you can see a difference in the way he's playing. He's playing with a bit of freedom. He's scoring more goals. Maybe he sees himself now as a main part of the team, and he's becoming potentially. I know we've got McGregor and Hatate, but on form, he's probably the best player in Scotland right now in terms of his performances. Again, people can shoot me down, but if you look at his stats and you look at how well he's been playing, then I think he's up there, and he's already making waves potentially for being player of the year. And again, that's when you're going to look at suitors going forward. But now he's got a new deal, and he's also happy here.
John or Harry?
What, Suter?
He said Suiters there. I'm saying John or Harry.
Anyone, mate. I don't think they could even touch any gloves, mate, to be fair. So, but no matter.
Couldn't like a candle to master
him. That's why you buy these flameless candles these days, mate. Do you know what I mean? But no, he's a top manager, mate. No, he's a very, very good player, mate.
Or in your case, it's birthday candles. You're always celebrating something.
Aye. That's just what happens these days, mate. I'm just a happy guy, you know what I mean? But I think, all in all, Alan, what JP says, I think, mate, that Matt O'Reilly's vastly becoming a fan's favourite. He's vastly becoming a guy you're kind of depending on as well. Normally it was just Hatate and McGregor. You would a few questions about O'Reilly. People are saying, is he good enough? And we've not replaced Rogic. I even said that a few weeks ago, that we've not really replaced Rogic. But for me, I think you can maybe say now he's kind of that Rogic type of mould in terms of scoring important goals. But he reminds me of the way Rodgers done with Stuart Armstrong. He progressed Stuart Armstrong. He made Stuart Armstrong fitter. He made him score a lot more goals. He made him be a big part of Celtic. And don't know how you feel, Alan, but I do believe that Matt O'Reilly's vastly becoming a player that we need in the team now. I don't think, again, you've signed Home and you've got other guys in the team, like Quan, Danny mentioned, who need to be seen. Don't know if he's going to be up to it, who knows. But I do feel that...
Quan Danny? Who's that?
No, Danny mentioned Quan.
Oh, right. I thought that was Ham Danny's brother.
Aye, Ham Danny. But I don't know what you think, Alan, but I do believe that Matt O'Reilly, for me, mate, is fast becoming one of my favourite players. I don't want to say he's my top player, but in terms of, I think on the field, I think he's definitely up there with one of the biggest on the team now, one of the first men in the team sheet. And obviously as well, behind the scenes, he's obviously well liked. He had a good kind of friendship with Jota and Starfelt. And it seems to be, Alan, that a lot of the team, they all got socialising. You look at across the water, and especially across the water, you never see them posting folk, you never see them all out celebrating or doing anything. Celtic team, they're always out doing things, and I think that only bodes well, Aaron, for the team spirit.
Okay. No, I definitely agree. I think Matt O'Reilly's probably the most improved player in the squad this year. And obviously, different players can have react differently.
Most improved player?
Aye.
You're kidding me on the
How?
I think he's been the best player on the team for the last year.
Who, really?
He's not.
Miles better than...
No, he's come out.
One of the top players of the team.
Right, but I think the level he's came for since Ange left to now.
Yeah, but I think that's because he's adding goals, eh? Surely
no, I think his overall play. And I think he's improved leaps and bounds since Tumble's been took out of the team as well. Because you're letting him off the leash. Right?
Yeah.
See, if you let him free in the number 10 role, right? He's not having to chase back and do the other things. You're letting him do his own thing. And that's how I think he's massively improved. And that's how you can see his goals, his assists start to skyrocket. He's
Right.
improved
Yeah.
massively. And different people react differently to different managers, right? Some people react well to kind of hardline managers, and some people like Matt O'Reilly's reacting well to Brendan Rodgers that's taking a kind of personal approach to him. But Matt O'Reilly, since the start of the season, has been less than sensational. He was always a brilliant player since he's come in, but I think he's stepped up a notch or two since Brendan's come in. And I've always been massive fanboy of kind of Rio Tati, but I'm starting to see Matt O'Reilly challenging that position like one of the best players on their team. Because week on week, he seems to be producing the goods time after time, and he's one of the guys you're kind of relying on that's going to step up and put in a performance. His performances have been fantastic this season. Like, I think obviously the new contract's brilliant, but I think it's going to be another one of them that we're going to struggle to kind of keep a hold of, because the more he plays like that, it's brilliant for us, but it's going to start attracting interest for bigger leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope we can keep a hold of him for a long time. But the more he kind of performs like that, I can see kind of bigger figures being thrown about and bids being put in. To be honest, I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah, it's interesting. No, I think that's interesting, Alan, because I've always seen Matt O'Reilly as one of the best players in the team. I think what we're seeing now is, yeah, I agree with what you're saying in terms of certain shackles being taken off. I think what we're seeing now is a Matt O'Reilly it's a lot fitter than what it was when he came to the club. You know, you look at when he started, he was only able to play the Tom Rogic way, 60, 70 minutes, then he was getting whipped off. Now he's completing full 90 minutes. Oh, sorry, how silly of me. Let me rephrase that. 100
100
minutes
minutes.
of football now.
Last
The way
season as
this
well,
game's going at the
a bit
moment.
up too, wasn't he? Last season
What's
as
that?
well, last season as well, sorry to interrupt you. Last season as well, Moy, for kind of January through to April, Moy was the starter while Matt O'Reilly was sitting on the bench, and
Yeah, but the
that might
stat is
have been,
last season, Matt O'Reilly was the only player in Celtic's squad to have played in every single game.
aye. But there was a lot of that time that he did the start, and I think now this part of the new season, I think he's probably the first name in the team sheet apart from Callum McGregor. I think he's playing that well. Whereas last season, most of the time, for January to April or May,
Yeah.
he was starting on the bench a lot of the time. And now I think he's up that level. I think he's, and I hope to God that he can keep going his progression, because the sky's the limit, because the guy has obviously got massive technical ability. And this season, I'm hugely impressed by how he's performing, and I just hope to God that he keeps kind of progressing the way he's
Yeah,
going at
no,
the minute.
no, 100%. No, I've always, I really took my hat off to him last year when Callum McGregor got injured and he had to go into that sort of number 6 pivot role. And he had to go and learn the position because effectively, when he went in, the first game, he was like a rabbit in the headlights and it kind of bypassed him a wee bit. And then we played in Europe and I thought, right, what are we doing here? And then he kind of slowly but surely came. But then I began to realise pretty quickly that he's actually a better tackler of the ball than I first gave him credit for. Because he looked a wee bit like when he played that first game against Hearts, when Atati scored that absolute thunder strike. I thought he looked a wee bit of a luxury player. When we beat Rangers 3-0 at Ibrox, 3-0 at Celtic Park, we've beat them that many times. I'm actually starting to forget now what time it was. I'm actually having to properly rack my archives here in my brain. So, when we beat them the 3-0 game at Celtic Park on the Wednesday night, he was the main part of, remember Atati's second goal?
Mhm.
O'Reilly sort of manipulated about 90% of that play. Him and Juranovic, They manipulated that by moving the ball quickly. So I thought then, he looked a bit of a luxury player, but now he just looks like he's becoming the main man of the team and a massive, important part of what we're doing. I think what we're seeing now is similar to what Ryan says in terms of the way Stuart Armstrong went. Brendan implements this formula, and it's about growth. And the way to do it, it gets in your head, finds out about what's going on in your personal life. Because we've heard other players speak about it, i.e. Kieran Tierney, they've spoken openly about it, and Scott Brown is another one. So I think what we're seeing now is them sort of starting to, get to know the manager a bit better, but him also getting to know them a bit better, and then finding out what it is they want to do. What do you want out of the game? I mean, Matt O'Reilly's only 22 years of age. I was absolutely gobsmacked when I heard that today, because I thought, I know Bev had a joke with me today about it, and I actually thought he was older. Genuinely did. I was naive for me. I thought he was older because he plays as if he's older. He doesn't play like a 22-year-old kid. He plays like with an older head on him. So that's why it was easily mistaken for me to think that he was older. But I think he's absolutely outstanding. I think he's been outstanding from the start of the season. Well, since we were in Japan. Obviously, before we finish up, I want to actually say I thought Scott Bain done very well at the weekend. Yes, I thought Scott Bain done very, very well for a guy who has been heavily criticised for being part of Celtic's squad recently. Just for, going out and warming up with the team and not getting much game time. I thought he came in and done very, very well. Albeit he made a couple of saves with his legs, but he had to be there. There was a couple of cross balls he came and punched as well. It seems to be an ongoing thing now with the goalies that we've got. I don't know if this is something Stevie Woods has been working with them, but they are the cross balls are coming in and they're coming out and punching and looking for that option rather than catching, because nowadays defenders are, if they're in the attacking half from their own half, they're coming in and they're clattering you. You saw it with Mugabe at the weekend. For me, that alone would have been disallowed because that was a foul before anything else had happened. So, but yeah, I thought he did very, very well. But one other guy I want to commend right now before we go any further is Liam Scales. I thought he's shown a maturity in his game and he's shown growth. Now, I was asked several few weeks ago, should I say, about this, Lagerby, Bielke, Scales playing together. What do you see? And I see a partnership growing there. And I was laughed at. Right? I was laughed at. These were Celtic fans that were chatting to me. It was none of you guys, or it's probably guys that you don't even know. But I was laughed at. I'm the one that's laughing now. Because what I saw weeks ago is now happening now. These guys are growing. These guys are growing game by game. Liam Scales is now showing a professional standard that he's now set himself. Okay, back in the day, he might have been our fifth choice centre-half come the start of the summer. We've now had injuries. He's had to come into the team due to adversity. And he's now gripped that with both hands, and he's become the mainstay and probably one of the best players in the team that's shown the most level of consistency. And he's doing it at a very, very high level. Now you look at even that goal we conceded at the weekend, he was the one that headed it out. There was one or two after that were sleeping. My only criticism of Scales, he takes a step too high and it allows Spittle into that area with the ball to get the shot away. That's the only thing I can fault Scales with over the last 5 games. So I think the big man's done really, really well. I really do. I also think he'd be a great option for us to put to left back if we needed to, because he's also big, he can win the ball, he's aggressive. I really like him, Ryan. I really, really do, mate. And I think it's testament again to working under a manager and Brendan Rodgers?
No, like I say, with Scott Bain, again, I've criticised him why he shouldn't be the second choice. He shouldn't be the third choice. He shouldn't be. I know. I think he's got some sort of. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I do know that he's got some sort of role. I think behind the scenes he's getting with Stevie Woods, and I don't know if that's part of this new contract to go. Apparently, I don't know. Again, that's never come out in public that he got a new deal, but I don't know if that's just something Celtic didn't announce. I don't know, but I do
you're
feel.
chatting, Ryan, I'll let you take that one.
Do you think Ben will play on Wednesday? I don't think so, Joseph, personally. For me, Scales will score on Wednesday, JP. I agreed last season that Scales. I don't think Ben will play on Wednesday, Joseph. A good point you made, mate, because obviously he'll be full of confidence for the weekend. But I just feel that, again, I know he played well at the weekend, and I've criticised him, not just probably everybody on here. We've all criticised why he's playing at Celtic still. But praise when it's due. You've got to praise when it's due. He done very well. He potentially won his game with the saves he made. So I know people say that's what he's paid to do, but you've still got to do the saves. We've had goals in the past, like i.e. Barkas, i.e. other goalkeepers in the past, like Jonathan Gould years ago, sometimes Rob Douglas. They've not made great saves. They've not done saves when they've had to make saves. So credit when it's due, he done it. Hart will start on Wednesday for me. I know he done well Saturday, Ben, but I'd be a wee bit frightened with Scott Bain on Wednesday, if I'm being honest with you, if go Europe. I think that's a position where in Europe, I think that's where the level goes up when you're playing against top quality strikers and top quality players. And Scott Bain in goals would, I don't know about it personally, but Liam Scales again, he's come in, he's been very commendable, he's done the job, he's looked fitter, he's looked stronger, and he's not actually made many mistakes. So again, I've criticised him in the past, and I probably will criticise him again, but as it stands right now, you can only comment on players now and what they're doing right now. Longer term, yes, I don't see him playing longer term because you've got Nerowski and Vickers. I think Lagerbielka will potentially get better as well. So I don't feel when you've seen Welsh again to come in as well. Obviously, he's got a new deal as well. So again, Scales longer term, you can't see him playing with Celtic longer term, but that's just my opinion. I'm not the manager. So you've got to obviously credit him right now as it stands. He'll play on Wednesday, obviously, no doubt. Lagerbielka's injured, suspended, sorry. I thought a wee bit on that, Phillips. I thought he looked assured when he came on. He looked okay when he was playing, so I think he'll come in and play, no doubt, on Wednesday. I'd imagine he's up to speed because I'm probably guessing Sunday and he'll be in today, probably in a bit more fitness work to get ready for Wednesday's game. So, all in all, Aaron, I think Scott Bain does deserve credit. We all know that longer term he shouldn't be there in terms of setting the third choice, but I know we're nearly end the show, mate, but I'll leave the last word to you, mate.
Aye. I know we've all kind of spoke about Scott Bain quite a lot. Personally, I think we all don't think he's up to kind of Celtic standard, but he did make a few decent saves. I don't think that was getting good as a foul, by the way. See the one offside? I don't think they would have good that as a foul, so I'm glad of that. That might have been viewed as a foul. But he did make a few decent saves, to be fair to him. So credit where credit's due. I think the two centre halves are both kind of inexperienced, and they weren't expected to be our centre half pair, to be honest. So we need to give them massive credit. And I'll kind of echo what JP says. For 96 minutes in that game, I would have gave Liam Scales man in the match, hands down. For the goal, I think he probably was at fault. The guys obviously went by him, but apart from that, we blunder, which we can't criticise.
He won the header. He actually wins the header.
It shouldn't be good.
And then,
I know.
But McGregor dives in on the edge of the box to let Blair Spittle skip by him and all. So we're doing this back to Kyogo Joe Hart scenario here. If you stop the ball at source, you don't then. Do you get what I mean? You don't get to that point. But no, like I say, Alan, he stepped high. So see if he doesn't step high and he just stays where he is, Spittle's not get that angle then to execute that shot.
It's a slight criticism, but apart from that, I thought some of the tackles he made were amazing. I thought, considering where he was before the start of the season, I think he's come in and done incredibly well. So I'm nitpicking at small things, obviously.
Yeah.
It was because of a goal, but I think apart from that, minor mistake, I thought he was man of the match. I thought some of the tackles he made were incredible. And we weren't expecting any of the two of them to be the first pick kind of starting centre half. So credit where credit's due, because both of them deserve it. I think both of them will kind of feature squad players and come on kind of leaps and bounds for this. But I think I spoke to you before. I think we're missing that kind of Carter Vickers. No, for the defending aspect to it. See the way Carter Vickers brings the ball forward and kind of distributes it quickly for the centre half position. I think the guys are kind of a bit slow on the ball. Well, Carter Vickers is really immense at that. He's bringing the ball forward, and he makes the killer passes that gets into your number 10 role and then forward for them. So, but Bain, Lagerbielke, Scales, they've all been put in a position that we didn't expect. They've all been put in starting places, and I think they've done massively well, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I say credit where credit's due. I think the squad games start to come into play, and especially on Saturday there, they've done fantastically well.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And I think after obviously watching us on Saturday, I think moving forward as the games become more bigger, food for thought, I think that we will start to see horses for courses in terms of squad-wise selection. Last comment there, a wee John's commented there of, he said, we need to get rid of players like Bain, Seagrass, Scales, etc. They're mid-SPL level. I agree with you, John, in terms of the two goalkeepers. However, I strongly disagree with you in terms of Liam Scales. He is currently showing that he can be part of Celtic's team, mate. He's performing very well at a very high level, and he's probably just going to play his second consecutive game now in the Champions League for us. So I've got to say, I've got to disagree with you there, mate, in terms of that. But all in all, guys, really good having you on. It's been a great chat again with you boys. Thank you, everybody that's taking the time tonight to tune in and also comment. We do appreciate everybody's support. I don't know if any of you guys have got social media, the ones that are tuning in with us just now. We did announce earlier on tonight on our social media platforms. The podcast is making slight changes to the podcast on a weekly basis now. We are on a Monday night from 8:30 as normal. Starting from tomorrow, we are on 11:30 a.m. and Wednesday 11:30 a.m. now. And then on Friday it'll be normal 8:30 on Friday night. But yeah, so as I said, thank you to everybody that's taking the time to join us. Before I go, guys, just before we finish up, I don't want to keep everybody too long. The Unrestricted View guys have got some merchandise up for grabs. Okay, they are selling fast, so I would advise you contact us ASAP for these fantastic mugs. On the one side, you've got the banner, and on the other, you've got the YouTube, our logo, the podcast logo. So, as I said, it's fantastic mug, printed in vinyl, folks. They are selling at £5 each, and we've also got these as well. These keyrings with the banner and the podcast logo as well on the other side, and they are £150 each as well, folks. So again, anybody wants to get in contact with us, please do on any of the above: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. You can message us on the community section in the YouTube channel. Again, folks, if anybody's new to the content and you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe and the like button, as it helps us to bring content to you guys. And it also helps us to keep you guys updated on what the page is doing and what, if we've got anything coming up for us at all. John reckons that all proceeds go to Agent Beale's retirement fund. It doesn't, mate. No, it certainly does not. But it does go to a new option on the buffet, as the sausage moles are now no longer going to be part of the buffet, along with the chicken tikka sakala that's recently departed us also.
There'll be no gap between servings now, anyway.
No, there'll be no gap between servings, that's for sure. I think the service will be It'll be pretty, be pretty sped up a wee bit.
The Buffalo Wings will get right to your table, no bother.
Yeah, the Buffalo Wings will bout to your table as soon as long as the waiter's not hungry in transit. But all in all, guys, hope you're all well. As I said, we look forward to Wednesday night, folks. As I said, we're back on tomorrow morning at 11:30. It'll be myself and Alan, and we will be chatting to you lovely people then. And if the boys don't have anything else to say, I'll say it for them. Hail, hail, guys, and I will see you later.
Take care.
Hail, hail.